Hey y'all, welcome back to another Warframe video, and we heard some good news today from what DE had to say in their dev stream 152, where they were talking about the ghouls, Saul, and they're looking that over. I think they're almost complete with this weapon that they're going to be bringing into the game, and it looks actually huge. It looks like a whole huge hammer type blade weapon, alright, and it looks dope. I hope we get it soon. I think it's definitely going to be coming in update 30. Well, it is, but I think they're going to be almost done with this and really give us some updates on that and more updates, but hopefully they are going to be done with this weapon. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Obviously, you guys see the title, and I want to talk about the raids coming back in Warframe. And it's not, I don't think it's going to be like Law of Retribution. I think it's going to be more different, where I think the railjack might involve where this is going into, and I'm not really for sure, but that's what it sounds like. But I mean, it's not gonna be like Law of Retribution where where it involves what's his name, Vayhek, and all that. It's gonna be way different, and I guess I'm gonna like this maybe, but I don't really know. Hopefully the raids are actually gonna be better than Law of Retribution, not the same thing. So not only that, I have to talk about, there's actually guns are being buffed now in Warframe, and I think it's actually all general weapons in the game. It's not just about guns and secondaries and melee. It's everything in the game. So that's what I want to talk about. So like I said, the raids are coming back pretty good. I don't want to really talk about that too much, but I think this is going to be cool. If you guys ever experienced Law of Retribution, I think it was actually good raids. I think that was a good raid, and I actually liked it. But the thing I didn't like about raids was the terrible people. Now, having terrible people in your session, in your squad, is actually really terrible, and that's what it was like playing raids sometime. It was having really people that didn't know what to do, and I think that's the most thing that really pissed me off about doing raids, because people in your session were really terrible at doing it. And when you actually try to give them, help them, guide them on how to do it, they still don't listen. They really just don't want to listen to you because you think that you're just a nerd or something, and you know what to do. Obviously you do know what to do, and then you have people like a person being a D-head and not listening, I'm trying to help you out with raids and teach you how to do this, and you're like just sitting there not obviously following anything, because obviously I know what I'm doing and you don't. So like, that's the only thing I didn't like about raids, and I feel like when this comes back, it's gonna be the same thing. But hopefully it would not. Hopefully it's gonna be easier than that, what I'm expecting it to be. But cool. Pushing that to the side, I want to talk about the guns being buffed and every weapon in general being buffed. So I know we wished better guns in Warframe. We always have been wishing this. It's been something very important in Warframe, and it's been so I feel like it's been like not talked about in Warframe, and now I feel like where DE is now talking about this, it's something that should have been done a long time ago. Now, weapons, guns in Warframe, I should say, primary, secondary weapons have potential. I see potential in guns. Alright, I see a lot of them. Potential having that weapon where, let's say you had a weapon that just looks so amazing. The animation of the weapon looks so dope. You just want to play it all night, and that might turn out to be your favorite weapon in the game. But then obviously as you go on into the game and you experience like a lot of other guns, and then you go back onto that one gun that you thought you saw a lot of potential in, and you look at it and be like, oh my god, this gun is like completely trash compared to the other guns, which they are kind of good but actually kind of trash as well. You start to like those guns better than your gun that you saw expectation and potential in. And that's where I'm talking about. There's a lot of guns in Warframe that actually look amazing. The animation looks amazing. The potential you see in it looks amazing. And then when you actually experience the weapon for yourself, and you go to yourself and be like, wow, this gun is pretty trash. Like I think I wasted all my time trying to put effort into building this gun the way I want it, and I feel like it's still not doing enough damage to actually say this is my favorite weapon. So that's where I feel like guns in Warframe are at right now, and I really pray to God that we really get what we expect to see in weapons, where they talk about buffing weapons. All right, and I'm hoping where they actually say buffs is the positive instead of actually thinking of it as a negative way, because I know when they say buffs, it becomes heartbreaking, because they, instead of talking about a positive buff, they actually give us a negative buff. You guys definitely know what I'm talking about. This happens millions of times in Warframe, and it really does pisses us off. But hopefully this buff is a good way, and something that Master Ranks who are low, like 10, 14, can experience better weapons, and they can actually take these weapons to the Steel Path. And I definitely know Steel Path is going to be tough for people that are lower, and I'm talking about Master Ranks that are low and they don't have the good weapons that they're supposed to have to actually use in the Steel Path. And that's definitely where I'm talking about, is like we just need better weapons for lower players, man. You got to think about them. They got to think about how they're going to be able to do Steel Path. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are able to do Steel Path, but weapons, I know definitely somebody's going to be using weapons, and I'm talking about guns, all that in Steel Path, and then like they keep dying 24/7 because these weapons are kind of butt. And you know, when we talk about melee is literally the best potential weapon we have in the game right now. All right, they're literally on top. They're the top tier weapons in this game right now, and primary and secondary are not looking so good. So that's where we need to overlook these primary and secondary weapons and give them at least a buff, man. A buff. We need a buff. Okay, we need a good buff, not a negative buff. We need a good buff. Okay, so that's where we need to take a look at those weapons and at least increase stats. Okay, but that's one thing I said in like a video. Just we need better weapons, man. And I hope that's where DE is going to take a look at those weapons, and not only that, but future weapons that are going to be coming into the game, new weapons. Like that has to be overlooked. You know, you can't just give us a weapon that actually is dope as hell and then give us poor stats. Okay, that's just not going to happen. So that's where they need to take their time looking over these weapons, at least putting good stats in there, and then give it to us, because these weapons lately have been nothing but kind of terrible. So, and not even that, prime weapons have been terrible lately as well. Not all of them, but some of them. So that's where I feel like we need to be looking at those things and like at least increasing some stats. But that's all I'm gonna talk about. Alright, I know this is pretty long, and I feel like I've been repeating myself, but I just want to be aware out there that weapons do need to be take a look at. And I'm talking about guns, primary, secondary. Alright, so leave your comments down below what you think about this, man, because I feel like this is very important. Alright, something that should have been taken a look at a long time ago. And I know you guys are probably excited, but probably not, because you never know when DE might actually give us something positive or negative. And I feel like it might be a bit of both. But I'm going to leave it up to them and see the outcome of it when we actually get update 30. So just make sure you leave your comments down below what you think about the raids returning in Warframe, and the guns, primary, secondary weapons, and melee weapons actually too, having a buff. So yeah, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. But that's all for this video. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You know, you guys can always hit me up, and don't forget TikTok as well. But that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.